I had seen that on social media that Bill lost his corgi, Holly, the terror dog. And I had the opportunity to meet Holly on multiple occasions when Bill and I have gotten together the last few years at his home on Long Island. And this past summer, Holly was not there. And as I was leaving, I said to Bill, Bill, where's Holly? And he kind of referenced, I could tell he was kind of caught off guard by it. But, Holly's like his mascot, as he alluded to for the last decade. And he said, she's been having some health issues, so she's at the doctor now at the vet, and we're picking her up later. And I said, all right, well, my best to Holly. And he just announced, of course, that she passed away from a brain tumor at 9.5 years old. And everything he said there about pets is absolutely correct. I've got a 13-year-old, soon to be 13. Actually, we don't really know how old Woody is. We found him under our car as a stray in Woodward, Oklahoma back in the fall of 2012. He's 13. Now, he's in great shape. God bless him. I'm going to knock on wood. But, you do start to think about that stuff when you get dogs that start to get long in the tooth.
Cat's 12 years old yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
Siamese cat. Male.
Well, cat's got another 12 years in him, most likely. Those things live forever. My gosh.
Much to my chagrin.
What I saw, Guy Benson turns 40 today.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How about that?
I mean, that's different than an animal. I don't know why I brought that up. But
well, no, you know what?
We're doing birthdays.
Nice. We're doing birthdays. Celebratory. That's a good direction to take it there, Mark. Happy birthday to Guy Benson. That's a big one. Between Guy Benson, soon to be Vince Colonnese taking over for Dan Bongino, who's going to fill in today for Dan, and then this show, you've now got the three major day parts on KCMO, where the hosts will be 40 or under. For people that assume that this format is, just a bunch of stodgy old people over the hill, that's not the case, man. Hey, quiet back there.
The newsman behind me.
Quiet. So yesterday I'm down at T-Mobile doing this Chaperone deal for Claire and the kindergartners watching women's basketball with the Big 12. It was a great time. But it's funny, as a girl dad, you experience these firsts, right? I've got 3 girls, 6 and under, and I'm taking a lot of the boys to the bathroom yesterday, trying to help them out, right? Being the dad, doing my thing. So it was hilarious. I didn't think it would go like this. But you realize when you only have one gender, you really have no idea how to raise the other gender. So I walk into the bathroom with these boys, and they're like 5 or 6 years old. And immediately I look at the urinals, and I'm like, these kids can't even see over the urinals. Like, they're not going to be able to use these things.
Yeah, I got the knee length ones, huh?
So then I'm like, all right, guys, go in there. I point to a couple of stalls. And one of them looks at me, and he goes, that's a girl's toilet. I'm like, well, I'm not going to debate the semantics of this with a 5-year-old, but I'm like, okay, you guys want to use the urinals? And they're like, yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. So these kids, they're whatever they are, 5 and 6 years old. I'm like looking at them, and I'm like, they can't even get over the thing. Well, they don't care. They're just dropping the trousers, and they're just, firing away. Well, all right, just right upstream, boys. And one kid, he starts like touching all of them. I'm like, what are you doing there, champ? Stop. Don't touch the bottom of the urine. Stop it. Like, dude. And then one guy, he finds the kids one, and he's going, and then his buddy's looking over his shoulder, and I'm like, what are we doing here, fellas? Just go to the bathroom. One kid's falling over into the urinal because he's like barely tall enough to get over it. And I'm like, man, this whole girl dad thing.
You see why women live longer, right?
It's just funny because I grew up with only boys, but then you get to a point in life where you're seeing all this happen, and you're like, I don't remember any of this as a kid. I have no memory of any of this. And you realize that, boy, first off, the two genders are very different.
Talk about a bombshell.
I know that's going to be a shocker to some people. The way that the kids act is very different. The way they act in the bathroom is also very different. It's like one big party in there. Girls don't do that. Man.
It's Wait till we get to the soap.
They're having the time of their lives.
At least it was early in the day, and there weren't a ton of people there. So
No, yeah,
it
there were
wasn't
not.
super dirty.
Yes, there were not a lot of adults. One of the kids, he's first to go. He washes his hands, the whole thing. He's like, "I'm going back to the seats." I'm like, "No, you're not. No,
Whoa.
no, don't go anywhere there, Bucko. You stop right there." It's like the dad in 10 Things I Hate About You. All right, I know every cop in town, Bucko. Don't go anywhere, champ. And we just moved on with our day. But, man, it was, as a girl dad, it was a doozy doing that for the first time because I don't have any nephews or anything like that to take to the bathroom in situations like that.
It's an amusement park in there.
Oh, it definitely was, man.